Test groups in Swift let you run multiple blocks of code concurrently, but wait until all of them finish before proceeding. This should sound familiar to anyone who's worked with dispatch groups. But unlike them, test groups structure the work using child tasks. Each task can return some value, and the group itself can do the same. Previously, you had to specify the return type of child tasks explicitly. But in Swift 6.1, the group tries to infer the type. It does so by looking at the first child task within the group. This updated syntax makes your code just a little shorter, but you don't have to use the shorter version. And you know what? Sometimes you might want to stick with the old syntax with explicit type declarations. Here's an example. Suppose you're managing a farm which makes two types of products, crops and milk. When you want to calculate the farm's revenue, you obviously can't add different products together. But the product protocol lets you use their monetary values instead. Before the change, you had to explicitly specify the return type of child tasks. In Swift 6.1, you don't have to do that. But now you've got a new problem. The return types don't match, and the compiler refuses to build such code. One solution would be to leave a hint of the return type in the first child task. Then the group would expect the same type from other tasks. But I don't really like this approach. That's because it limits your ability to change or reorder child tasks. Remember, the group only infers the type from the first task, so the order does matter. In this case, I would just continue using the old syntax. Another solution would be to return dollar amounts from the very beginning. This would automatically make all child tasks have the same return type. But this would also limit the available actions. What if product defines other properties which you need to calculate revenue? You could use tuples, of course, but this would only make your code even more complicated. That is to say, not every syntax update makes the code better. In simple scenarios where all child tasks have the same type, this change is a welcome improvement. But in more complex cases, you might want to stick with the old way.